Senator Seidman.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you all very much for your presentations. I'd like to address my question to you, Mr. Vandry, because I must admit that I became a little concerned listening to your presentation about quality control and THC levels. So you've done some research on THC labeling of marijuana edible products, and in fact you published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. And one of your findings is that more than 75% of product labels misrepresent the amount of THC. So if you first of all, that's very disconcerting. If people can't count on a product label to give them accurate information. And so if there's mislabeling on edibles, what is the likelihood of the same kind of mislabeling of product THC contents that we're going to propose to have on dried marijuana products? And so then my question around that is, what can governments do to ensure that the labels accurately reflect the THC content? And would it be advisable to set a maximum THC potency limit for edible cannabis products, for example?
Yeah, so I think very valid points. The paper that we published in JAMA was based on product samples obtained in medical cannabis markets in California and Washington. And so again, those markets didn't have really tight regulations about dosing, testing, and things like that. So that highlights the importance of having good standards for quality control. So just because we found that most products were not labeled accurately doesn't mean that they can't be. I think what's important is that the manufacturing process be fine-tuned to ensure, for example, that you know the exact potency with regard to THC of the source material that goes into baking a batch of brownies. There's quality control processing that can go to ensure that that material is evenly distributed, or that individual doses or individual products are dosed specifically. So for example, in my laboratory, we make each pot brownie separately so that we have a fixed amount of cannabis in it, and we know the concentration of THC in that product that we're putting in, the plant material that we're putting in each brownie. So we can get precision in our doses from that way. So again, this is a challenge that then goes out to the manufacturer. But there have to be standards for ensuring that they do this, and there has to be oversight to make sure that when a product goes out and hits retail shelves and says it contains 10 milligrams of THC, that someone is validating that, and it's validating it from batch to batch, the same way you would validate the labeling of any other drug, would be my guess.
Okay, thank you. So my question then is, there something that government can do in the regulations down the road, which will come, say, in a year, if the plan is to make edibles legal in a year? Is there something that governments should watch out for to ensure this kind of manufacturing quality control and ensure it in the regulations? And should there be a maximum THC potency limit for edible cannibals? For edible cannabis products, and I might address that, right? I might address that to Ms. Skier, Dr. Skier, yes.
Yes, with respect to being able to regulate how much is in each product, the government absolutely should have regulations around that. And right now, in the states, there are different states that have legalized recreational marijuana have different levels of potency that they are allowing in products. So I don't remember exactly, but some require a maximum of 10 milligrams, some have a maximum of 5. So, and part of that is because this is a pretty recent regulation. We are trying to figure out what those doses should be, and the more we learn about the problems related to edibles, the more the regulations are becoming stricter. So we are seeing up to 5 milligrams. And I think that the Canadian government really does need to put a cap on what's allowable in a product. And I do believe also, as Dr. Vantry was saying, the problem with having higher concentrations even within one same product is extremely problematic. So making sure that the manufacturers are held to task on that will be really important.
Okay,